So you think the year is basically over, right? Most of us do. We kind of coast through the fall, just waiting for January 1st to make all those big changes. But what if the last 100 days of 2025 weren't an ending at all? What if they were the ultimate beginning? This is your chance for a final, focused sprint that could completely change your life before the new year even gets here.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack the unique power of this 100-day window. Then we'll dive deep into finding your real motivation, building momentum that's pretty much unstoppable, and then getting you set up with the exact skills and tools you need to not just finish this year strong, but to absolutely own 2026.
You know how everyone's obsessed with New Year's resolutions? Well, that means most people are basically hitting the snooze button for the next 3 months. But this time, right now, is an incredible untapped opportunity to get a massive head start while everyone else is sleeping.
100 days. It's a funny number, isn't it? It sounds like a lot, but it also feels like it could fly by. But here's the secret. When you put in focused, daily effort over this period, you create this compounding effect that is genuinely life-altering. Seriously, it is more than enough time to see huge, visible progress in pretty much anything you set your mind to.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? We get so wrapped up in the day-to-day grind that we totally lose sight of the big picture. But a 100-day sprint, that's the perfect amount of time to see some massive, tangible results. So the real question is, where are you going to point all that energy?
Look, you can't start the race until you know where the finish line is. And even more important, you've got to know why you're running in the first place. This part is all about helping you design your own path, not just, blindly following someone else's map. This brings up a huge choice we all have to make. Are you a cook, just following society's pre-written recipe for what success is supposed to look like? Or are you a chef, starting from scratch to create a life that is authentically 100% yours? When it comes to your life, you really can't afford to be anything but the chef.
So how does a chef come up with a recipe? Well, they've got to understand their own ingredients. And that's where this brilliant metaphor from the blog Wait But Why comes in. It helps us see our inner motivations as a yearning octopus, where every single tentacle is pulling us in a different direction.
And we've all felt these pulls, right? The desire for personal fulfillment might totally clash with the practical need to just pay the bills. Or that yearning to please other people might contradict what you really want for your own lifestyle. The first step here is just to be honest with yourself and figure out which of these tentacles is really driving your decisions.
Okay, so you've got your direction. Now we got to talk about execution. Real, lasting success is never about one giant leap. It's built from thousands and thousands of tiny, consistent steps. It's all about generating that unstoppable momentum day in and day out.
And if you doubt for a second what's possible, just look at this. This is Dayton. He started a 100-day fitness journey, and his starting body fat was nearly 33%. He also had a dangerously high level of that visceral fat around his organs. Not good.
And then, after 100 days of consistent, focused work, and get this, with just a bench and 2 dumbbells, no fancy gym, he dropped all the way to 23.5% body fat. That's a loss of 17 pounds of pure fat and a gain of 6 pounds of muscle. That right there is the undeniable power of 100 focused days. And you don't have to start with some massive, intimidating overhaul. Momentum starts with a tiny win. Try this super simple routine from Sahil Bloom the second you get out of bed. It takes less than 2 minutes, it kickstarts your energy, and it gives you that winning feeling to start your day off right.
Okay, so you've got your direction, you're building momentum. Now let's talk about building skills that are going to pay you back for years and years to come. In a world that is changing faster than ever, the single best investment you can possibly make is in yourself.
So, where should you put that energy?
The World Economic Forum gives us a really clear roadmap. They predict that by 2025, the most valuable skills are going to fall into these 4 buckets. And it's pretty wild that a full half of that is problem solving. But for right now, let's zoom in on that working with people slice.
This is where emotional intelligence, or EQ, comes in. As technology and AI start to automate more of the routine stuff, our uniquely human ability to connect, to influence, and to empathize, that becomes a superpower. This table from Harvard Research shows the difference loud and clear. High EQ isn't about just being nice, it's about being effective.
And speaking of technology, it's not just changing the skills we need, it's also handing us these incredible new tools to speed up our progress. Let's look at a few AI tools you can use as your own personal secret weapon during this 100-day sprint.
Just think about all the time you waste on administrative busywork.
while tools like Lindy AI let you build your own AI employee to handle all of that for you. It can read your emails, schedule your meetings, manage your inbox, all of it, freeing you up to focus on the work that actually matters.
Imagine having an idea and bringing it to life visually, without ever needing a camera or a film crew. That's the mind-blowing promise of tools like Google's Veo 3. You can create these stunning, cinematic video clips from just a simple text prompt. We're talking about crushing a creative timeline from days down to minutes.
And for visual storytelling, you've got Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, which has the awesome nickname Nano Banana. This thing is incredible. It can generate images, keep a character looking consistent across different scenes, and even fuse multiple pictures together into a brand new photorealistic one.
Now for the final, and you could argue the most critical piece of the puzzle. It's one thing to make incredible progress in 100 days, but how do you make sure it doesn't all just vanish on day 101? The answer is actually pretty simple. You need a system.
And it all starts with getting specific. Vague wishes like I want to get in shape or I want to learn a skill are just recipes for failure. Instead, you use the classic SMART framework. It forces you to define exactly what you want, how you're going to measure it, and when you're going to get it done. It's how you turn a fuzzy dream into a concrete plan of attack.
And to stay on track with that plan, you need a daily habit of reflection. But listen, it doesn't have to be complicated. This 1-1-1 journaling method is one of the simplest and honestly most effective ways to do it.
That's literally it. 3 bullet points. 1 win to build your confidence, 1 stress point to get clarity on what's bothering you, and 1 point of gratitude to keep your perspective. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it gives you clarity, cuts down on stress, and keeps you locked in on your journey.
There's this old parable that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Your entire life could look different with 100 days of focused daily effort. The clock is officially ticking. So, what tree are you going to plant today?